They say the wind don't whisper in Calico Ridge. It screams. Screams like the ghosts of men who ran from their sins and found 'em waiting on the other side of the mountain. I ain't much for stories these days, but there's one I can't drink quiet. It starts with a black horse, a stack of blood money, and the kind of mistake that don't stay buried. I rode into town on a Tuesday so hot, the dirt curled at the edges. 3 days without sleep, nursing whiskey like it was penance. I wasn't there for pleasure. Wasn't there for redemption either. I was there to buy something no decent man should ever try to own. Saloon was quiet, smelled like sweat and old grief. There was a man slouched in the corner, face like paper, and hands wrapped tight around a crumpled note. His eyes were red, skin like wax, and he reeked of rotgut and regret. He looked up when I asked if he was the one selling. 15 years old, untouched, 500 cash, he slurred, barely able to keep his eyes open. My stomach turned, but I kept my face dead. I'd done bad things before, robbery, bounties, worse. But this felt different, felt like poison sitting in my gut. "Where is she?" He pointed to a back room with a shaky hand, said she'd been locked up 3 days, said she was quiet, barely ate, wouldn't fight. I walked back there like I was heading to the gallows. And maybe I was. Door creaked when I opened it, and there she was, sitting on a filthy mattress in a yellow dress that had seen better days. Eyes like emerald fire, chin held up like she dared me to flinch. I saw her face, and I saw myself. Then I saw the scar, just above her brow. A scar I remembered kissing goodnight when she was 3. A scar from when she fell trying to chase butterflies barefoot on a gravel trail. I stumbled back like I'd been shot. She looked at me and asked, "You here to buy me, too?" My hand twitched toward my holster, not for her, for the storm inside me. I turned and walked out, boots heavy, mind screaming. Back in the saloon, I grabbed the drunk by the collar and dragged him out into the street. "What's your name?" I asked. "Clive," he hiccuped. "Clive Brennan." That name hit me like cold iron. Brennan was Elizabeth's last name, my dead wife. This wreck of a man was her father, my little girl's grandfather, the man I left her with when I couldn't face the weight of raising her alone. I asked him her name. He said it didn't matter, said she was the only thing left to sell and he had debts, claimed I was her first buyer, said he'd kept her clean to get more money. I should have shot him right there. 15 years ago, I thought I was doing the right thing, leaving my daughter with a sober storekeeper instead of dragging her through blood and dust. But now I saw what that choice had become. I handed him the 500. His hands shook from greed, not shame. Then I leaned in and whispered, "You know what happens to men who sell their own blood?" His face drained, bottle slipping from his hand. I didn't wait for an answer. Back in that room, she was humming a lullaby, Elizabeth's lullaby. I asked where she learned it. She said, "My mama used to sing it before she died." I nearly broke. She told me stories about a man on a black horse, said he was brave, but had to leave to keep us safe, said he'd come back someday. She looked up real slow and said, "His name was Jack." And just like that, the dam broke. "Sarah," I whispered, couldn't stop myself. Her eyes went wide. "Grandpa told you to call me that?" I couldn't speak, couldn't lie. "Who are you?" she asked. Before I could say a word, footsteps thudded outside. A voice like gravel shouted, "Too late, boys. Already sold the girl." 3 shadows blocked the doorway. The Bartlett brothers. Monsters wearing boots. Big Tom Bartlett grinned like a hyena. "We had an agreement, Clive. Now you're telling us some stranger bought our prize? They stepped in. Tom's eyes landed on Sarah. I stepped between them. Walk away, I said. Oh, we know who she is, Tom smirked. Heard all about Elizabeth's little girl. Heard her daddy was some gunslinger named Jack Morrison. He looked at me, real slow. I'll be damned. Jack himself. What a treat. Guess it's fitting you get to watch what we do to your little girl. I didn't move. Behind me, Sarah gasped. Daddy? Big Tom chuckled. That's right, sweetheart. Daddy came to buy you. How's that for a reunion? Something inside me shattered. Guilt, anger, shame. I looked at her, then back at them. You ain't touching her. Tom reached for his gun. He never got the chance. 3 shots rang out before the other 2 blinked. When the smoke cleared, only I was left standing. But hell wasn't done yet. Sarah whispered through tears, I think Grandpa has more girls. I heard crying in the cellar. I kicked open the trap door behind the bar. The smell hit me first. Fear, filth, forgotten souls. 3 girls in cages, barely old enough to hold a doll. I dragged Clive down, forced him to look. How long? I growled. 2 years, maybe 3, some orphans, some taken. I wanted to shoot him. But footsteps thundered above. Sarah shouted down, Daddy, men with badges, they're here! I told the girls to hide, told Sarah to run if she heard gunfire. Then they came. Sheriff Whitaker and his deputy. Crooked eyes, cold grins. Whitaker tipped his hat like it was all routine. You caused quite a mess, Jack. Depends how you define trouble, I said. Killing 3 men and interfering with property sounds like trouble. Property? I spat. Clive pays taxes, keeps the peace. What he does in his own place. The sheriff shrugged. Ain't our concern. How many towns? I asked. He just grinned. More than cows on the plains. I didn't wait. I yelled, run, and opened fire. Gunshots shook the cellar. Wood exploded around me. I took one in the arm, maybe cracked a rib, but I hit back harder. When it was done, the sheriff was dead. The deputy, too. I limped upstairs. Sarah had the horses ready, my black stallion and 3 others. The girls were already mounted, looking at me like I was some kind of savior. Sarah asked, Is it over? I looked at her. She was strong, braver than I ever was. I didn't answer right away. Just climbed onto Midnight, turned toward the hills. Somewhere out there, more girls were waiting. Somewhere out there, more devils wore tin stars. But for now, I had my daughter beside me, and a debt that still needed paying. Some ghosts ride with you forever, and some roads don't let you turn back.